What's up guys, welcome back. Hear me out. So I've been thinking lately, our nitro powered RC car is pretty cool, but it would be a lot cooler if it had, I don't know, let's say a turbo on it. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine a little baby turbo, a little turbski on this thing? That would be sick. And I've been having these intrusive thoughts for quite a while now, probably ever since I ordered the nitro RC car. But at first, it didn't seem possible. So I gave up on the idea and forgot about it. Problem was, every single time I saw the nitro RC car, the only thing I could think of was, dang, that thing would be really cool with a little turbo on it. So I dove deep into the internet and did some research, and I came across a video, one video of a nitro powered RC car idling with a turbo kit on it. It was a very short video. There was no talking, no type of information in the video. It was just a short video of a nitro RC car idling with a turbo kit on it. But that was all I needed. That was proof that it was possible, and from that moment I decided that we were gonna put a turbo kit on our nitro powered RC car. So I started making a parts list in my head and gathering all of the parts that we were going to need in order to execute such an extravagant procedure. We have now sourced all of the parts needed and are currently in possession of quite possibly the world's smallest turbo kit. Check it out, guys. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I said, at first it did not seem possible, but your boy made it happen. So I'm gonna go over all of this stuff in a little more depth here briefly. But yeah, the world's smallest turbo kit. Probably not, but it is small. So check it out. First and foremost, here is the Turbski. Check this thing out, guys. It is official. Super legit. It's got the compressor housing, the exhaust housing. Look. But we'll get back to that shortly. Right here we have our exhaust manifold, which is a custom piece. It started off as a factory HSP exhaust manifold or exhaust header, whatever you want to call it. The only difference was that it was clocked like this. So the flange would bolt up to your block like that, and then the tubing was clocked like that, so you could just mate it up with your factory exhaust. But since we're putting a turbo on the car, I needed it clocked a little bit differently, so I cut it off right at the flange, clocked the tubing 90 degrees, and had my buddy Max re-weld it because it's very thin aluminum. So now when we bolt it up to the block, the tubing is aiming up, which will be perfect to mount our turbo on. So that's pretty cool. Dope little custom piece. And then here we just have some standard silicone hose, a hard piece of plastic hose with a little rubber hose at the end of that. We also have our gasket for the exhaust manifold, which is pretty cool. Forgot to mention that. I think that's pretty dope. Then we have our exhaust, which I bent out of some 1/2-inch aluminum fuel line. So that'll come out of the Turbski like so, kind of bend around the engine and then just shoot up. We still have to cap this off so we can create a little bit of exhaust pressure and then drill and tap a hole in it so we could put a pressure fitting for our tank line, because we need to have some form or some way of putting pressure from the exhaust back into the tank so we could pressurize the system. So we still got a little bit of work to do on that, but for the most part, guys, we have a complete turbo kit for our nitro powered RC car. Let's take a closer look at this Turbski. I mean, what a piece of work, am I right? The exhaust housing, center cartridge. This thing is legit, guys. As legit as it can be at this scale, I think. So yeah, super stoked on that little guy right there, and it's gonna get mounted on this little guy right here, and it's gonna be a pretty rad unit. Now I know what some of you must be thinking, that there is just a toy. Well, look here, I prepared this little demonstration for all of those who may be skeptical. Yeah, it works. It's official, guys. It works. Super stoked on that. So before we can install the turbo kit, we need to remove the factory exhaust and remove the factory exhaust manifold. And once we get that off, we can start to fit up the new turbo kit. So get stoked. You guys don't know how long I've been waiting to do this, because I've had all these parts for a while now. but I wasn't quite ready to film the video, so I had to be patient. But now I'm ready, boys. Now I'm ready. Factory exhaust is off, and I'm just going to put the little pressure line off to the side for now. Check it out, the factory exhaust. We're not going to need that where we're going. Also, I'm liking how much space this opened up. And even when we put the turbo kit on, I can already tell that we're going to have a much bigger window here because the factory exhaust is not going back into place. So we'll be able to see the little transmission there. And that's pretty cool. Next, we have to reach back in there and get to those two bolts so we can remove the factory exhaust manifold. This bolt here is easy to get to. The other one, not so easy. Factory exhaust manifold has been removed. Heck yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Gotta get the gasket off. Oh man, it's falling apart. Got it all cleaned up. Look how good that looks. Now we just have to get our new turbo manifold into place. And that's that. That looks sick. Heck yeah. Now we're gonna go ahead and install our turbski, get this thing mounted up, and then we can figure out how the rest of our turbo kit is gonna lay out. So I'm gonna use some of the silicone hose that I have just to push it over the tip of the exhaust manifold. Then I'm gonna secure that with a little baby zip tie. Now we have to make a precision cut in our coupler so we can mount our turbski. Let's go ahead and get the factory air filter out of the way so we can get the turbski fully seated down into place. Same deal, gonna use a zip tie to secure the turbo to our coupler, if you will. Our nitro powered RC car is officially turboed. How sick is that? Dude, focus camera. That came out so clean. Come on, you got to admit it. That's pretty cool. Functional? Will it build boost? I doubt it. But will it look cool? Heck yeah. So now that we got the turbski mounted, I'm going to move on to getting the intake pipe cut out and into place, which I'm thinking, you see this kind of has like a 45-degree bend in it. I'm thinking that's just going to slip right over our intake outlet on the carb, or inlet, whatever you want to call it. We'll trim this down a little bit, and then this tube will 90 right into the compressor housing of the turbo, and that'll be sealed up, and then all we have to worry about from there is the exhaust. Just need a little piece of this silicone hose. Nice.
A few moments later.
Hey man, I'll tell you what, if this thing ain't good for nothing else, it looks cool as hell. So I went ahead and got the intake pipe all fitted up, cut out, and mounted. So now, the only thing that's left is the exhaust. The rest of the turbo kit is complete. Everything is secured and tightened down, and I think it looks pretty damn badass. I mean, look at that. Our nitro powered RC car now has a turbo kit on it. That is too damn cool. Official, ain't it? Hell yeah. So now the only thing left for us to do to complete the turbo kit, 100% complete the turbo kit, is get the exhaust fitted up. And I already had my buddy weld one end of the pipe or the tube shut, because as I mentioned earlier, we need to be able to create pressure within the exhaust pipe, because that's how these nitro RC cars run. So I figure if we drill a little hole there smaller than, you know, the standard opening, the exhaust won't just flow out freely. It'll kind of hit that wall on the tip, create pressure within the exhaust pipe, and then when we put our little pressure fitting on the side of the pipe, hopefully the exhaust pressure finds its way to the pressure fitting, and then, you know, we'll send pressure into our tank, pressurize our tank, and that way we will continue to deliver fuel to the engine the appropriate way. In theory, that's the idea. So we just got to drill a smaller hole on the top of this guy, so we do still have some type of exhaust, you know, flowing out. Then we have to drill and thread a hole on the bottom side here, so that way we can put our pressure fitting in. Then we can get everything installed, run the pressure line to the tank, and we should be in business, boys. That's all I think there is to it. I've done the homework, and we're almost there. So we just got to do a couple more things to get the exhaust fitted up, and we'll be in good shape. But before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and remove these body retaining posts, because, you know, now that we have the car turboed and it looks so damn good, I'm definitely not gonna be running a body on this thing. I just think the turbo kit looks so damn cool. Why would we want to hide it underneath a body shell? You know what I'm saying? So let's take these body retaining posts off, and then we'll get to work on the exhaust. Much better. Look at that. Lovely. Yo, the exhaust on this thing turned out like a straight up piece of art. Got the little fitting on there, put a lock washer in between it, and I put a little bit of silicone on the threads just to help seal it all up. I also put a light layer of paint on the tip of the exhaust, so that way when it's on, you know, it kind of just looks like one open hole instead of just that little smaller hole that we drilled. I don't know, I think it just looks a little bit better cosmetically. Yeah, the exhaust is done now, completely bent from scratch by me, drilled, tapped for the pressure fitting, and then, you know, we welded shut one end, drilled the hole open, so now we're good to go. All we have to do is get the little coupler installed and then get it attached to the exhaust housing of the turbo, zip tie everything tight, and oh, and then we have to add the little pressure line, which this thing is filthy, but yeah, that goes from the tank. It's gonna go through there like that. Hopefully it reaches the pressure fitting that we just installed on the exhaust tube or exhaust pipe, up pipe, whatever you want to call it, and we'll be good to go. Not gonna lie, that was very tight to get that on. Also, come on, focus. Where I put the pressure fitting, because I knew that we didn't have that much line to work with, I had to put the pressure fitting a little closer than I wanted, but it actually fit in that little groove of the cylinder head perfectly, which is fire. The line is a little tighter than I would like it, but maybe, you know, I can just get another line at a later. It's not that bad, to be honest. Like, look, it's got a little play in it. It's legit. We got the coupler on there, the exhaust is on, and we have officially turbocharged our Nitro RC car, boys. This thing is insane. So stoked. Look how the exhaust just wraps around the cylinder head there. Clean. So clean. Why does this thing keep losing focus? This damn camera. What do you guys think? Am I crazy? Or is this pretty badass? I think it's pretty badass. I ain't gonna lie to you. This thing was sick as is, and now look at it. Bro, what? So fire. So fire. I am stoked on this. It looks so damn cool. Hell yeah, fire me up. We have a turboed Nitro RC car now. That is so sick. You know, I had the idea at first, as I said in the beginning of this video, it didn't seem possible, but then, you know, my mind wouldn't let it go, so I just had to I just had to make it happen, boys, and we have officially made it happen. I've been wanting to do this for a while, guys. Dog, look at that. That is badass. So badass. I am stoked that we got it done. Dude. Like, that's legit. We got our custom made exhaust manifold, turbo manifold, custom made charge pipe, custom made up pipe with the world's smallest functional turbo. So badass. Check it out, I also put together this little RC stand, so it's just two 2x4s screwed together. I wrapped it in speaker box carpet so we could throw it in the vise, and then we have a stand so we could put our RC cars and work on them. Super cool, dude. I am so happy that we were able to get this done, guys. It seemed like a far-fetched dream at first, but I'll be damned if jovanmichaels ain't get her done, you know what I'm saying? So sick. So sick. What do you guys think? Is it gonna work? Drop a comment down below if you think the turbocharged Nitro RC car is gonna work or not. Regardless, I'm fired up because this is going to be a sick shelf piece whenever it's just not running, you know, and we just have it in the house chilling. It's like, dang, dude, is that a Nitro RC car? And then it's like, gosh dang, does that thing have a turbo on it? You're damn right it does, boys. I wouldn't have it any other way. I can't stop looking at it. It's just too cool. Let's get some close-ups for you guys. All my custom made couplers. We still have access to the high-speed needle, the low-speed needle, the carb screw, so we can always, you know, continue to tune the car. Man, so good. So good. And the exhaust just comes right out of the back housing there, around the cylinder head, boop, boop, up and out. We lit. Call me crazy, but I think this is super badass. We have a fully custom turbo kit on our 10th scale Nitro RC car. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. In the next video, we are going to be firing this thing up and seeing if we can't rip it down the block. But that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Be easy.